Let's record. Oh, no makeup. Alright, everyone. Well, let's see if we can find the right document. P. So just want to say that this is like what I wish I knew before. So maybe it's sometimes not really something that you can apply onto your life, but this is what I wish I knew. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are doing super duper well today. Today's video will be like a 3-in-1, but the main purpose and the main thing that I will talk about is 7 things that I wish I knew before becoming an au pair. I know I watched these videos a lot before becoming an au pair. So I hope that someone else who has the will to be an au pair watches this video and hopefully decides to go for it. And also this is kind of my 7-month update, as I have officially been in France for 7 months. Not bad. 7 months is a lot. I haven't seen my family or friends in 7 months. The third thing that I'm going to get a little into is like a little bit of a story time, because if you don't know, I spent my 3 first months in France in another family, and then after 3 months I decided to change family and moved here to where I am right now and have been for the last 4 months. And the first thing is that this is exactly what you need. You know, I was very like, is this a good time? Is this smart to do? As I was really struggling with my health, both mentally and physically, before leaving. So I was very uncertain if it was a good thing to actually leave my country and go into another one with a new family and everything. But today I know, and I'm so grateful that I actually went, because today I know that this was exactly what I needed. First of all of the de-stress that I have right now, I am so calm. I have found an inner peace that I can't even remember having. You know, the other day I was at the beach and I just lay down in the sand for 1 hour and look up at the sky, listening to the waves, and I was just like, well, here I am. Not bad. Number 2 is that you will see that everything, there will be downsides. Many downsides, but it should always weigh up with your good sides. If it doesn't, it's not the right fit for you. So this kind of takes me back to the old family where I used to live, and one thing that was really a struggle for me was that I had things that I didn't like, and the good things were not enough to weigh up for the bad things. There were good things, absolutely. It wasn't like a horror story at all, but there were not enough good things to weigh up for the bad things. The good things should always not be more, but way heavier than the bad things. And number 3 is something that I feel very, not passionate about, but that I feel very much goes on to me, because the first family where I choose, I think I was their 12th au pair actually. And I just thought that, oh my gosh, these guys, they have so much experience with au pairs, they will do this perfectly, it will be perfect match. And I was very critical to families seeking their first au pair, because, you know, I was like, they don't know what it's like to have an au pair. But also, I didn't know what it was like to be an au pair. My first family, I had to leave. And the family where I am right now, I'm their first au pair. And this experience is so much better. So a family having a lot of au pair experience is not necessarily a good thing. And one thing that I can just mention is that what I felt was that no one in the family, of course they wanted me, but no one was really excited about me coming. I come and it was like, yeah, okay, welcome. But when I arrived here, and I've heard other au pairs talk about when they arrived to their host families, and you know, the families are like, oh my god, she's here, it's so amazing. because it's something that they really look forward to. But if you have your 12th au pair, it's not something extraordinary. It's very ordinary that a new person comes into your house and will be a part of your everyday life. Number 4 is it will be hard, but you can do it. I think it goes with the positive and negative things, and that it has to weigh up situations that are difficult for you to handle because they're new and everything, but you also need to try and find situations that are not difficult for you. I speak a lot and I'm like to be in the center of the room, but I'm actually a very introverted person, and the best time that I can take for myself is to be completely alone. So I have spent a lot of time on my own. I went by myself to do some shopping, or I just stayed in my room or anything like that, because I know that that gives me energy and makes it easier for me to handle all of the hard parts. So you need to find things that make your life a little bit easier when it gets too hard. Number 5 is something I think I can say, because it's kind of speaking outside of my frame, but it's that all host families are a little extra. Basically every single family that takes in an au pair are rich. They have a lot of money. They work a lot. Imagine where you are in your life when you decide to take in another person to take care of your children and to live with you. You're not completely normal. I'm glad there are families who want to do that, because otherwise I wouldn't be here today. But to keep in mind that sometimes when both with my experience and when I've talked to others, is that host families sometimes can kind of lose the grip. They're kind of living in their own world a little bit. They have a lot of money, and I think money can make people very special, extra, like that. Number 6 is that you'll learn way more than a classroom could ever teach you. And I'm not only speaking for the language part. I had to learn to stand on my own feet. Literally, I couldn't call my parents and have them come over in an hour, like when you move out of your house, but I was literally in another country. And if I wanted my parents to come, it would be at least 24 hours until they are actually here. So if I'm experiencing a crisis or something and I need a family member or a friend, they're not very easy to get to. I mean, I can always call them and everything, but I had to solve most of my problems on my own. And that teaches you a lot. Of course, the language. I think I studied Spanish in school for 5 years, and my last year, I remember the oral test was to talk about your favorite season of the year, the 5th year that I studied Spanish. We talked about our favorite seasons for the oral exam. And I've lived in France for 7 months now, and I speak way better French than I ever spoke Spanish. Because when you live in it, when you're surrounded by it, you have another motivation to learn things, you are forced into learning. It's just classrooms are just in a frame, in a box, and living is when you're outside of the learning box. You learn so much more. And number 7, and my last point too, is that this is your experience, so make it yours. And the only thing that I can really talk about and refer to is my former au pair experience. I did not like the situation, and I did decide to change, and because first, I thought there was something wrong with me, wasn't the family, and I felt in the beginning when thinking about moving, I felt a lot of guilt And I kind of wished that someone had told me that. Or no, because if someone else would have told me, I wouldn't have listened. I kind of wished that I understood earlier that this experience, I'm not doing it for anyone else, I'm doing it for me. As much as I want to help out a family and everything, I'm not doing it for the family, I'm doing it for myself. This is my experience. So you need to make it your experience by making sure you have what you want. Like I said, if it's not good for you, it doesn't matter if the family likes you. If you don't like the family, it is your experience, so you have the right to leave. You know what you have, but you never know what you'll get. It's just, life's like that. But sometimes you also need to just jump. I sat in the other family and dreaming about my days after my au pair year and what I wanted to do then, when in fact I've been sitting in Sweden in school for 12 years dreaming about the day that I graduate and what I will do then. I was dreaming about the future when in fact I should have been in my dream. That is the 7 things that I wish I knew before becoming an au pair. I hope that if you are considering becoming an au pair, that you take the opportunity and that you make reality of your dream, because I know for sure that you won't regret it. And if it's a bad experience, you can always go back home. You can always change family. And you can always do anything because it's your experience. Make it yours. Make sure that it's exactly what you dreamed about. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and be sure to click the subscribe button down below. Bye.